If setting boundaries makes you feel selfish, this video is going to set you free. You're not broken for feeling guilty. You were conditioned to believe your needs don't matter, but not anymore. We're stopping this today. Before we dive in, be sure to subscribe because every video on this channel is a mirror and a moment of rising back into our power. Let me ask you something. Have you ever said yes when you meant no? Have you ever over explained, over given, or over accommodated? If you have, you're not alone. And you were probably taught, oh, my doggy wants to join us. Okay. So we have a guest. Let's go back to what we were saying. If you've done the things that I've asked you, you're not alone. You were probably taught that your worth is tied to being liked, needed, or easy to love. Even if you were not directly told those things, in a way, they were implied because what is happening is the lack of boundary is all about people pleasing, and that is actually about external validation. In fact, psychology shows us that people pleasing is a survival mechanism. It's the nervous system way of avoiding rejection, especially if love felt conditional for you when you were growing up. You may have never been taught to have boundaries, to actually say what you mean. I know I wasn't. I was the biggest people pleaser you can imagine. But here's the thing, you don't owe anyone your energy to feel worthy. You can be kind and say no. You can be loving and still protect your peace. They are not mutually exclusive, but we believe that they are. And we've created patterns and behavior that reinforces this. A lot of that is found in the guilt and the shame that you feel when you set a boundary and you say no and you wonder, ooh, will I still be liked and accepted if I say no, if I say what I actually think? Think about how many times you have not given your opinion to not ruffle anybody's feathers, to keep the peace. And what if the opinion was just that, an opinion? And people said, okay, thank you for sharing. That's your belief. This is mine. There's actually a brain body connection to boundaries. And we can look at science to help us understand this. When you set a boundary, your brain might interpret it as danger. Why? Because your amygdala is wired to avoid conflict. It views emotional discomfort as a threat. That can make you clamp up. It can make you not express your opinions. It could also be one of the reasons why you don't have boundaries. Now, I'm not saying this is the exact case for you. Maybe it's not, but there is a strong possibility. Sit with what I'm saying and decide for yourself, not because I'm telling you, but based on your experience, whether this holds true or not. Think about why saying, I can't do this today, or I don't want to do this can feel frightening for you. It can feel uncomfortable. When we start to understand why we feel the way we feel and why we don't always create boundaries and are truthful, we can start to actually be more honest and be more of our true selves. A good way to help us start to have boundaries is to think of reframing. Think of boundaries as not walls, but as clarity. They tell the world how you love. They tell the world how to love you better. And they tell your inner child, you're safe. Every time you set a boundary, you're rewiring your nervous system for safety, self trust, and sovereignty. To be clear, when I'm sharing some of these science tips, they go deeper. And if you have serious issues with boundaries and you feel that you need help, please see a professional. What we do on this channel is share information, give tools, and then you can apply them if they make sense to you, but always seek professional help. if that's something that you need. With that said, now let's talk about boundaries and the soul. There is an energy around self worth. Boundaries are not just mental, they're energetic. And your energy is sacred. It's your currency. It's your life force. It's your light. Every time you overwrite your no with a yes that's not authentic or genuine and makes you feel conflicted inside, you're leaking energy. You're betraying yourself, your soul, who you truly are. And you're dimming your own light. You're making yourself small for other people. Now, it is good to be mindful of other people, to elevate others, because we're here to elevate one another. But it is not okay to shrink yourself so that other people can feel good about themselves. The idea here is that we are all authentically ourselves. And there are times where, yes, there is discomfort, but it should never be at the expense of your authenticity, your integrity, your energy, and light. So when you set boundaries, you are signaling to the universe that you are ready to be honored. This is how self worth expands. This is how we step out of survival into sovereignty, into empowerment, and into thriving. How do you set boundaries without guilt? I'm going to walk you through something very practical that's loving but powerful. Anchor in your why. Ask yourself, what am I protecting? Is it your peace? Is it your time? Is it your alignment? Boundaries become easier when you remember what they're making room for, why they're important to you. Use clear and kind language. Remember, having boundaries does not exclude kindness. They can work together. So try this. Tell someone, I love you, but I can't do this right now. Or that doesn't work for me, but I care about our connection. Or whatever wording feels true and authentic to you. No need to over explain, no guilt, just truth with love. You'll find that most people respect it when you're honest. And when you're dishonest, people can feel that, even if they don't really know what's going on. And that leads people to disrespect you. It's instinctual that often can't be explained. It's like a predator smelling fear in prey. People can feel or sense when you don't have boundaries. So they'll push and go as far as you'll let them. Now, here's step number 3. Pause the guilt loop. When guilt arises, ask yourself, is this guilt or unfamiliar peace? Let me repeat that question. Is this guilt or unfamiliar peace? Because peace will feel wrong at first if you've never known what it is, if you haven't experienced it. If all you've known is self abandonment, then how do you know when you're at peace? It takes a while to feel comfortable being at peace because you're out of that survival mechanism of people pleasing. And step number 4, practice and protect. Boundaries are not a one time act, they're a daily devotion to yourself, to your energy, to your practice. And when you respect yourself, you're actually also respecting other people because you're being honest with them. You are giving them the courtesy of your honesty. And when you're honest, you're living in integrity. And when you're living in integrity, people sense that, they feel that. They may not like it, but they generally will respect it. And if they don't, ask yourself, is that situation or that person good for you or is it toxic? This is only something that you can decide. I can't decide that for you. Only you can do that. I'm here to share tools, but it is up to you to decide what is good for you and your own life. Now, here's another thing I'd like to offer to you. Boundaries are sacred. They are not rejections, they are revelations of who you are, of what matters deep inside of you, of what you're no longer available for. I want you to take a moment to picture your life 5 years from now. Do you still want to be saying yes to things that you really want to say no to? What will happen in 10 years? The more you do that, the more you dim yourself and the less authentic and truthful you are to who you are. And that's a disservice to you. And that's a disservice to the people who are part of your life. And that's not honoring your sacredness, your essence, your soul, this amazing spirit that you are. What that does is it abandons yourself to keep the peace for others. But that actually creates internal conflict within you. And that is far from peaceful, maybe for another person, but not for you. Boundaries, believe it or not, will not push people away. They will pull in the right ones, the ones who respect your truth and who honor your light. What we're going to do now is integrate that by anchoring it. Close your eyes for a minute if you can. It's preferable if you're in a quiet place. Put your hand on your heart. See yourself connected to the planet, anchored and grounded. Take a couple of deep, clarifying breaths. And as you do that, feel what it would feel like to say no and have somebody say, okay, that's fine. What would it feel like? Go into your imagination because you see, the subconscious mind does not know the difference between what is factual and what is not. So imagine what it feels like. What would it feel like for you to say no, to have boundaries and have people honor them? Imagine that happening. Anchor it as a part of your reality. And now repeat after me. It is safe for me to have needs. It is safe for me to speak my truth. I honor my energy and I am worthy of self respect and having boundaries and speaking my truth. Breathe that in. Exhale out all doubt. Sit with this for a minute and remember you are worthy of setting boundaries and being aligned to yourself. If this gave you clarity and you haven't subscribed yet, please remember to do so because this is our space to rise together in alignment with respect and with love. If there's someone who you know that this can benefit, please share. Drop the word worthy in the comments if you're choosing to set guilt-free boundaries and share with me what is one boundary you are ready to honor this week. If you go to the description below, you'll find links to my books, to courses, to mentorship. And remember, your next level begins with a single no that honors your highest yes. And you are not too much. You're not too sensitive. You're finally seeing your own light and honoring it. And it's time the world saw it too. Until next time, make it a great day. It's been an honor to be here with you today.